Had a bit of a glitch there, didn't we? My countdown started again. Anyway, hey up, it's the old Yorkshire geek here, back again with some more geeky news. Move my microphone a bit closer. Hey, anyway, so what have we got today? We've got mostly Star Trek news today, to be honest. A bit of Star Wars, some Doctor Who, and some creepy crawlies at the end. So if you have a nervous disposition about creepy crawlies, well, I've warned you. Anyway, right, so let's crack on. Let's get into our first story. Where the hell have I put... Hang on, I've got to shrink myself first, haven't I? Here we go. Whee! There. All the way down. And Splodosh, there we go. Obi-Wan Kenobi show rumoured to feature another fan favourite Jedi. A brand new Star Wars report claims that the upcoming Disney Plus series Obi-Wan Kenobi will feature the return of another fan favourite Jedi. Let's make that a little bit bigger there. Oh, there we go. There we go. And there's Ewan as Obi-Wan. I think that's in Revenge of the Sith, isn't it? Because he looks a bit older, more grizzled there, doesn't he? Qui-Gon Jinn, see, they're straight off. Qui-Gon Jinn is rumoured to appear on Obi-Wan Kenobi. Liam Neeson debuted the role in 1999 Star Wars Episode 1 The Phantom Menace. Despite the negative response to the film, mostly. I mean, I quite like it, but yeah, it's not amazing, is it? The actor's performance as Obi-Wan Kenobi's Ewan McGregor Jedi Master was one of the bright spots in it. Cue Princess. Tell you, soon as I start. Anyway. Yes, he was very good. Now, Neeson could be returning to the space opera if a new rumour turns out to be true. Initially developed as a Star Wars film, Lucasfilm eventually reworked Obi-Wan Kenobi to become a TV series on Disney+. Set 10 years after the events of Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith, the show will see what the beloved character was up to in between the prequel and original trilogy. Aside from McGregor, the project will also mark the much-anticipated return of Hayden Christensen's return to Star Wars, reprising his role as Darth Vader. Of course, it's not Anakin Skywalker anymore, is he? By this time, he is Darth Vader, in suit. So I wonder if we're going to see him in his suit all the time, or we're going to have some, are we going to see him without his helmet on and all manky, or is going to be flashbacks of him, looking, normal? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. As confirmed by Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy, the show will see Obi-Wan and Darth Vader's rematch, but apparently the Obi-Wan Kenobi show could also see the character reuniting with his old Jedi Master. As per a new report from Bespin Bulletin, Qui-Gon might also appear on the upcoming Star Wars Disney Plus series. While details of his purported appearance are unclear, it seems like it's more likely that the character will physically appear instead of Neeson simply doing a voice cameo. Unfortunately, how he fits in the narrative of Obi-Wan Kenobi is unknown at this point. For context, however, Neeson was previously asked if he was in talks with Lucasfilm to reprise the role in any upcoming Star Wars project, and he said that the company has yet to approach him. Neeson did return to do a voiceover for his role on Star Wars The Clone Wars, but he hasn't appeared physically since The Phantom Menace. If this rumour pans out, Neeson and Christensen won't be the only characters from the prequel who will join the McGregor-led show. Joel Edgerton and Bonnie Peace will also be reprising their roles as Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru Lars. Meanwhile, a separate earlier post suggests that Jimmy Smits will also be back as Bail Organa, although it's unsure if original actress Rebecca Jackson Mendoza will be in the Disney Plus venture as Breha Organa, Leah's adopted mother. Kumail Nanjiani, Indira Varma, Rupert Friend, O'Shea Jackson Jr., Sung Kang, Simone Kessel and Benny Safdie round up Obi-Wan Kenobi's cast, although Lucasfilm has yet to announce who they're playing. Neeson's return as Qui-Gon Jinn in Obi-Wan Kenobi, sorry, I was just checking something then, although unconfirmed, makes sense, As the first Jedi to figure out how to become a Force ghost, he would have had interactions with his former Padawan, and given the premise of the series, it would be the perfect opportunity to showcase that. Well, it's supposed to be teaching Obi-Wan, isn't it? You know, during his exile. That's what he said at the end of Revenge of the Sith. While this particular detail, as well as a string of other rumours, are still nothing but hearsay, expect that at least some of them will be confirmed once marketing for the show begins. It looks like it begins soon, because it's only May. Only a couple of months off. So there we go. Is Qui-Gon coming back in Obi-Wan? Probably. Even if it's just his voice. And if it ain't Liam Neeson, you know, they can always get a sound alike. Won't put it past them. I won't put it past them. Because I think they did for Mark Hamill, didn't they? Even though they said it was Mark Hamill in the Boba Fett series, there's stories going round that it wasn't Mark Hamill's voice. It was used phonetics and computer generated voice basically. But who knows? I know it can be done. It can be done. It can be done. Right, so we're on to Star Trek now. Right, Star Trek Picard Season 2 is about Jean-Luc's interior trauma. And also Patrick Stewart's. What, he's got some circuitry burning inside because he's dead. Either way, this is from Slash Film. And as usual, all the links are in the description below, so don't forget to like and subscribe, as it says up there. I've put a little thing up there. So like and subscribe and share the videos and drop a comment, either in the live chat or in the comments below after I've stopped streaming. Support the channel, keep us going. Anyway, right, so back to Jean-Luc. Here we go. There he is, looking a bit cheesed off about something there, isn't he? Right, Captain Jean-Luc Picard has overcome trials that would have broken many men. Borg assimilation, brutal torture at the hands of the Cardassians, showdowns with far too many scheming Romulans to count, and of course that time Q zapped him into a Robin Hood-inspired fantasy world. I bet he loved that. But Captain Picard rarely let anyone see him bleed, always putting on a mask of courage and dignity, even when he was deeply hurting. When that mask does slip, like in the powerful Star Trek The Next Generation episode Family, it's profoundly moving. The most unflappable man in the Federation is only human. Star Trek Picard has doubled down on this. The first season saw the mostly retired Starfleet legend battling an ailing body and an illness that would ultimately kill him. Due to sci-fi reasons, he got better. Season 2 finds Picard facing not only a terrifying alternate history/time travel plot that threatens to tear his galaxy apart, but also his own internalised trauma. The season is playing the long game, but one thing is made clear early on and often: something very bad happened to Jean-Luc when he was young. And as the character approaches a century of life, he's never gotten over it or confronted it. Oh, for God's sake. Always got to be something, hasn't there, in the past. Unbelievable. When he was young. Young as a child or a young adult, I don't know. If this sounds familiar, well, that's because Patrick Stewart has been open about his own childhood trauma and how he continues to grapple with it into his old age. So it's probably his idea then, wasn't it? Because he's a producer, isn't he? Naturally, this gave Stewart the opportunity to bring his own troubled past and his own healing process in Star Trek Picard, weaving real life into Star Trek. When I spoke with Stewart over Zoom, I asked him if Star Trek Picard is a series about ageing gracefully. He's dead! With Season 1 tackling a failing body and Season 2 tackling the internal trauma of the mind. Why can't you just... Well, it's all circuits now, isn't it? Can't you just rearrange some pathways, some neural pathways in his computer brain? God, I hate it. He responded in the affirmative, noting that this season gives him an opportunity to work his own personal experience into Picard as the character deals with the same issues he has over the years. But it don't mention him being an android. This is what he said. Yeah, I won't do an impression because I can't. Yes, it was very much. And in that respect, I could draw from my own life experiences, and also largely thanks to a very high-class therapy, which has been very important in my adult life for, I would say, the last 30 years, and I benefited enormously from it. But a lot of it was to do not with my adulthood, but my childhood, and how I could come to terms with that, what I have often looked on as being failures in my life, to not to have helped my parents more. In the same way, Jean-Luc is troubled, and it has been extraordinary and interesting to weave elements of my own experience into that of a fictional character. When Stuart speaks of not helping his parents more, he is specifically referring to his father, a World War II veteran who returned home with undiagnosed post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, and subjected his wife to abuse, often with his young son present. Many years later, Stuart would find empathy for his father and his condition, leading to the actor's ongoing involvement with charities working to assist those with PTSD. However, the lingering trauma from his childhood and associated rage issues never went away, and Stuart has been very open about his experiences in therapy, and how much it has helped him over the past several decades. Knowing that Star Trek Picard Season 2 will allow Stuart to portray both the pain he has endured and the healing he has experienced, adds a new layer to the story and to the character of Jean-Luc Picard. And as the character heads toward a probable retirement, Season 3 of the series will be its last. The actor seems to be tying himself and his best-known character closer together than ever before. When I asked showrunner Akiva Goldsman about this subject and if Star Trek Picard is a show about finding a way to age gracefully, he wasn't as ready to commit as Stuart. Well, I don't know about that, because I'm not sure any of us on this end have figured that aging gracefully out yet. Aging gracefully. Except Patrick, but this season definitely is about this view inward to the mind and the heart, and to where the obstacles in those uncharted territories are. And that's being fun, because it's a more internal journey. But honestly, having seen the first 3 episodes, Stuart work speaks for itself. Star Trek Picard Season 2 premieres on Paramount Plus on March 3rd, 2022, and it's supposed to be coming to Amazon Prime Video on March the 4th. But if you go to Amazon Prime, there's no saying coming soon, Season 2, when you click on the Picard thing. It just says Season 1. And we're only 2 days off. So they're leaving it late. Anyway, so there you go. So that's that. I don't know why they've always got to make it about internal struggles. I mean, yeah, they've imprinted his memories and stuff in his android body. But you'd have thought that would give him a bit more focus, wouldn't you? You know, he's a robot, isn't he? But they're not. They're going to forget about it, aren't they? They are. They're going to forget that he's an android, basically. He's an android with a human brain imprinted into its circuits, and they're going to forget. They're going to forget. They're not going to mention it because they don't know what they're doing. Right, next up, another Star Trek Picard debuts new Season 2 photos of Patrick Stewart and Whoopi Goldberg. Star Trek Picard shares new photos of Patrick Stewart, Whoopi Goldberg, Jerry Ryan, John Delancey and more ahead of Season 2's premiere. And there they are, we just saw that before in the previous article. With the second season of Star Trek Picard due to premiere later this week, hopefully in the UK, I'm not that bothered to be honest, Paramount Plus has debuted, and I want to see it for Q. Paramount Plus has debuted a new series of images featuring the show's stars. A total of 10 cast photos for Picard Season 2 were shared exclusively to ET Online, all set against the backdrop of the returning 10 Forward bar locale from Star Trek The Next Generation. Well, that's not 10 Forward, is it? Unless it's a holographic version, or I don't know. Or unless Whoopi's opened up a bar called 10 Forward, which is probably the case. And I bet it's in somewhere like New Orleans or somewhere like that. I bet it is. Anyway, the photos feature Patrick Stewart, Whoopi Goldberg, I don't know how to pronounce her name, Issa Bryans, I don't know, Isa, Alison Pill, Murderous, Character, not the actress. Santiago Cabrera, Evan Evagora, Jerry Ryan, Michelle Hurd, Brent Spiner. Oh, because he's coming back into playing a Soong. Don't know which one. One we haven't seen before, and John Delancey, respectively. Because the last Soong we saw was Oryx Soong in Enterprise, who was a genetic engineer, wasn't he? He created some, what do they call them? I forgot what they call them now. Like Khan, augments. He created some augments, didn't he? Which, got up to all sorts of shenanigans on Enterprise. Then at the end, he decided when he were caught again, and he were put in prison, and he decided to look into positronics, didn't he? And cybernetics, that's what he said, cybernetics. But we're going to see a Soong before Oryx Soong. So, anyway. And there he is at the... Has he been photoshopped into that? It don't look like he's leaning on that, does it? Anyway. There she is behind the bar. Jovian Sunspot, please. And that's that Ace. I don't know. How do you pronounce your name, love? Murderous there. She murdered somebody last season. No consequences. And he's with a cigar. Remember all the no smoking signs that Gene Roddenberry had all over his starships? Looks like don't matter to him, does it? That's what they care about, Gene Roddenberry. There's the elf. And what 99% of men are watching it for? 7 of 9, because she's still hot. And there's Michelle Hurd, who they decided to put them into a relationship, just cause for. And there he is. There's Brent Spiner as some sort of Soong, I should imagine. Don't know what his name's going to be. Actually, I think I've read it somewhere before, but I forgot. And there's who's going to be the real star of season 2. John Delancey as Q. What's that? What's that for? Don't know. Right, with more writing. Right, Stuart, Briones, I don't know. Pill, Cabrera, Evagora, Ryan Hurd and Spiner all returned from Picard Season 1. Oh, yeah. So we're Data, wasn't he, in Picard Season 1? I'm trying to think where were Brent Spiner in Picard Season 1, but yes, of course, he played Data. An odd-looking Data. I know he's older and stuff, but... Anyway, Stuart, of course, reprises his role as Jean-Luc Picard from The Next Generation. Stuart also previously portrayed Picard in an episode of Star Trek Deep Space Nine, well, the pilot episode, as well as in the feature films Star Trek Generations, Star Trek First Contact, Star Trek Insurrection, and Star Trek Nemesis. Meanwhile, Ryan reprises her role as 7 of 9 from the television series Star Trek Voyager. In Picard Season 1, Spiner reprised his role as Data from The Next Generation. Generation, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, we know what he's been in. Season 2, alright, he will instead play Alton Inigo Soong, Data's secret human brother. What are they talking about? So is the Soong from the 24th century then? Noonien Soong's son? It must be. It must be if he's Data's secret human brother. Oh, for God's sake. Anyway, and they're all back here and In addition to Stuart, Ryan and Spiner, Picard Season 2 marks the return of 2 more major Star Trek veterans in the form of Goldberg and Delancey. Goldberg reprises her role as Guinan from The Next Generation, Generations and Nemesis, while Delancey reprises his role as Q from The Next Generation, Deep Space Nine and Voyager. While he has not played the character in live action since Voyager, Delancey recently voiced Q in an episode of the animated series Star Trek Lower Decks. God, I hate that. I hate it. I saw part of Season 1 and I couldn't watch it after a couple of episodes because it just... I watched it and I felt rage building inside, but you can feel it there. Like a lump in there, you can feel it. That's what I was like. I hated it and I didn't watch any of Season 2 and I need a drink. I'm on water today. I am made from other bottles. Up the bottle that's made from other bottles and not water. The water. Hey, but I better still burp. I better do. Right, Picard Season 2 premieres on Thursday, March the 3rd, with the episode The Stargazer. Blah, 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 yes. Threatening the galaxy, as usual, because they can't just have, normal things, normal missions and not, small stuff happening. It's always got to be the galaxy's in danger, the entire Federation is in danger. At threat and everything's going to be destroyed. Oh, God. I get angry. It does me head in. It does me head in. At least we've got, as old Star Treks, as proper Star Treks, the original series, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager and Enterprise, and the animated series as well. At least we've got them. At least we've got them. Right, more Star Trek. Star Trek Pike spin-off shows footage. Spin-off show footage shows new look at Spock. It don't really. A newly released Paramount Plus promo features a very brief look at Captain Pike, Spock, and Number One in Star Trek Strange New Worlds. I can't show it anyway because there's a video down. There's a video. Oh, it might actually play. It wouldn't show it earlier on. Oh, well, we'll see what happens. Right. Blah, 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 blah. Star Trek Strange New Worlds, Pike and Spock make a brief appearance in the new... Oh, God, Yardy. Oh, Kakaradi, where did that come from? Oh, excuse me. Blimey. It's because I'm bored of Star Trek. That's what it is. Make a brief appearance in a new Paramount Plus promo. Ethan Peck's take on the famed Vulcan science officer from the Starship Enterprise first appeared in Season 2 of Star Trek Discovery, alongside Anson Mount's Christopher Pike. After making such an auspicious return to the Star Trek universe, as part of the cast on Discovery, Pike and Spock will next find themselves returning to their old star-hopping ways in the upcoming Trek series Strange New Worlds. Unlike Discovery and other recent Trek shows, Strange New Worlds will ditch today's favoured prestige TV narrative arc format and instead return to the old-fashioned episodic approach favoured by shows like Star Trek, the original series, and The Next Generation. Along with Pike and Spock, the show will also feature Rebecca Romijn as Number One, Celia Rose Gooding as Uhura, and Jess Bush as Nurse Chapel. In another connection to Star Trek lore, Christina Chong will appear as La'an Noonien Singh. Oh, for God's sake. A relative of the famed Trek villain Khan. For crying out loud. It's going to be awful, innit? It is. It's going to be awful. Again. Most everything else about Star Trek Strange New World is predictably being kept under wraps. I bet the galaxy's in threat. Even though it's episodic, I bet every episode the galaxy or the Federation is in danger. Bet it is. However, a first look was offered on Star Trek Day 2021 in the form of a character introduction video, and there was recently a poster release. Now, Paramount Plus has provided another very small sample of the show via a newly released promo for all the network's offerings. In the clip, there is one brief shot of Pike and one of Number One and Spock. See the video in the space below. Yeah, but it's all about all other stuff. We'll see what happens. See what happens. No, it won't play. Look, it won't play because I've not got me VPN on. I watched it, my VPN. I changed it so I thought I was in America. And it played, and it's just really quick images of a Pike and then Spock saying something Spockish. I can't even remember what, Logicless, I don't know. And that was it, and just loads of other stuff that's going to be on Paramount Plus. I can't put my VPN on now because they'll slow down your connection, don't they? So I won't do it anyway. So that's it. Anyway, Star Trek Strange New Worlds, of course, includes one other important returning character from early Star Trek, the USS Enterprise itself. Herself, I should say. Or he should say, or they should say, whatever. With no season-long narrative tying things down, the new Enterprise will get to function much as the old one did, carrying its crew from one adventure to another across an array of interesting alien worlds. Indeed, the return to episodic storytelling... Oh, I told you I'd be burping, didn't I? as the biggest selling point of Strange New Worlds after shows like Discovery and Picard proved a disappointment to Trek fans who felt they failed to capture the spirit of Gene Roddenberry's original vision. That's the most sensible thing you've said. Any of these articles have said. I mean, and that's putting it lightly. That is putting it very lightly. Whether Strange New Worlds truly succeeds where its predecessors on Paramount Plus failed, of course, remains to be seen. However, returning to the Enterprise and setting it loose to explore the galaxy unencumbered by major narrative arcs feels like a backward step that could prove to be a real leap forward. Of course, chemistry between the main players will also be a major factor on Star Trek Strange New Worlds, just as it was when William Shatner, Leonard Nimoy and DeForest Kelley combined their talents to become the true heart of the original series. No doubt Alex Kurtzman and company will also have some Easter egg surprises, member berries, in store as they mine Star Trek nostalgia in search of storytelling gold. And I'm sure Anson Mount will do a good job of fronting the show because he's charismatic and everything. And it will good up to a point in season 2 of Discovery. But I don't like them uniforms. They don't look comfortable at all. They look very stiff and restrictive. And they don't look like the original series uniforms, apart from the colour. But they're horrible. They're horrible. Anyway, so that's that. Let's get rid of that, I've had enough. Right. Next up. We're not Radio Times here. The reason we've got loads of adverts is because I had to turn off my ad blocker to look at the article, which is why there is whoever that is. I have no idea who it is. Does it say there? Darcy and Stacey. Who are they? I have no idea. Anyway, whatever. Who will be the new Doctor Who companion? Or companions? Whatever. We still don't know the identity of the next Doctor. It's Radio Times, your own big BBC. If anybody knows, you know. But there are already a few clues about who could be their partner in time. Very witty. And there's Jodie Whittaker and the others. And I think only, I forgot her name, is left. Not that I watch it. With production on Russell T Davies' second run on Doctor Who gearing up, rumours are rampant about who could be the next Doctor, with some strong contenders in the mix. But what about the co-lead of the series, the Doctor's partner in time, the all-important companion? Well, since Davies announced his return, we've seen reports claiming that stars of It's a Sin, Sex Education, Foundation and Being Human, and even the return of former companions could be on the horizon. Fans themselves have been speculating, theorising and fan-casting for Davies' next season, with the ideas of Georgia Tennant returning as Jenny, or perhaps the grandchild of Ian and Barbara boarding the TARDIS. Some fans have even suggested pivoting away from her contemporary Earth companion and moving toward a non-human companion like Handel's or Rusty, or a historical companion in the vein of Fraser Hines' Jamie McCrimmon from the classic series. Who's Handels and Rusty? I have no idea. So, who has been rumoured for season 14, and is there any evidence to support them? Check out our top candidates for the next companion below. Who will be the new Doctor Who companion? Tanya Reynolds? I presume that's her. Best known for her role as Sex Education's Lily Eagleheart, Reynolds' name was thrown into contention when reports suggested the BBC was eyeing her for a role in Davies' return to Who. Specifically, The Sun has claimed that producers are keen on Reynolds because she'd be a unique sidekick, comparing her to the likes of Billie Piper and Jenna Coleman. However, the report also notes the dilemma for Reynolds, as it would require Lily's role to be lessened for sex ed. Don't watch it. Reynolds certainly fits the mould for companions, while she's already a rising star in Britain, appearing in Fanny Lie Delivered, as well as Emma. Doctor Who could give her the same catapult to fame as Karen Gillan when she was cast in 2009. On the other hand, Reynolds appears to have a busy slate over the coming months, with a role in HBO's The Baby, as well as filming Sex Ed's 4th season. We have series in this country, not seasons. 4th series this spring, around the time Davis's new take on Who will begin shooting. With that in mind, a 60th anniversary appearance may be unlikely. Still, you never know, the baby is only a supporting role, and with Sex Ed's production concluding in November, it's entirely possible that Reynolds could board Doctor Who in time for later episodes, maybe even a full season 14 after the 60th celebrations have concluded. Annabelle Scully. It looks like she's been in it before. Another possible name floating around is Being Human and the Split star Annabelle Scully. She actually screen tested in the past as the companion to Matt Smith's 11th Doctor, potentially for Amy Pond or Clara Oswald. More recently, she played Claire in Who's Flux miniseries, quickly becoming a fan favourite. In interviews, Scully has claimed to know nothing about anything in regard to season 14's companion, but she was very happy merely to be considered. From her IMDb, Scully seemingly has no projects currently in development, making her schedule, quite free to be taken up by a project with long production shoots like Doctor Who. Likewise, Scully is no stranger to fronting historical adventures with her stints in Britannia and Medici. Proof of that. Sure, she's already played a guest character in the series, but it didn't stop Freema Agyeman. Lydia West. Gonna burp, sorry. Pardon me. West has been one of the recurring names for the mantle of the 14th Doctor, but perhaps that's an intentional smokescreen. Who's to say she couldn't be the new Doctor's best friend instead? She already has a history with the show, voicing Vivian in the Big Finish story The Sorcerer of Albion, part of the Donna Noble Kidnapped collection. West has also clearly caught the attention of Who showrunner Davis and ex-series boss Stephen Moffat, having worked on Years and Years and It's a Sin for Davis and Dracula for Moffat, as well as starring in his upcoming Inside Man. Funnily enough, West is also set to star opposite Russell Tovey in upcoming romantic drama Text for You, one of the candidates posed as a potential 14th Doctor and a favourite of Davis's. Much like Donna Noble, the Doctor Who universe continues to swirl around Lydia West in the most perplexing of ways. Yeah, Russell Tovey would be a good Doctor. Yeah, I'd like him. I'd like him to be the next Doctor. He'd be good at that. Right. Anyway, Tania Miller. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Tania, don't know. But there she is. Similar to West, Miller also has a history with both Davis and Doctor Who. She first appeared as a regenerator Time Lord General during 2015's Hellbent and was recently cast in Davis's Big Finish story Mind of the Hodiak. She also has been rumoured as a contender for the 14th Doctor. However, Miller herself seemingly debunked these reports during a cameo appearance back in February 2021, claiming to know the identity of the next Doctor, having worked with them, and that you will absolutely fall in love with them. Miller has worked on both Years and Years and Sex Education, so she could be referring to one of the actors on this very list. However, her recent comments contradict this, implying that if she did know the next Doctor, she's not so sure now, unless that's exactly what she wants us to think. Ollie Alexander. Hey, where are you? In summer 2021, rumours swirled that Alexander was set as the 14th Doctor. Since then, both he and his manager have reaffirmed multiple times that this is not the case, but neither have directly denied a potential upcoming appearance. In fact, Alexander has stated in interviews that he is a big fan of the show and would like to make an appearance sometime in the future. One caveat to Alexander as a potential companion is his recently released second album, Nightcall. He's set to play a handful of dates that directly conflict with rumoured filming for the 60th anniversary, rumoured in May 2022. However, as is the case with Reynolds, he appears to be free at the end of 2022. Oh, that's the case with Retney, somebody else, isn't it? Around the same time that a full season 14 could begin production. Overall, we'd say we can't rule him out as a companion. After all, he's already faced the Daleks in a Russell T Davies production before, thanks to a storyline in It's a Sin. Billy Piper. Did not looking right cracky there, is she? I'm sorry, Billy. Something going on there. I know I'm no oil painting. I've no room to talk. But anyway, I just did. Alternatively, could a return from Rose Tyler be on the cards? Early in 2021, Piper claimed she wouldn't go back to Doctor Who because of the lengthy shoots mentioning that it dominates your life. However, speaking to RadioTimes.com back in September, she admitted that she would be open to returning if the circumstances and the story were right. Piper's change in attitude comes at a remarkably coincidental time to the announcement of RTD's return as showrunner, alongside the surprise rumours of old co-star David Tennant's return. Since then, Piper has been confirmed to return as Rose Tyler for volumes 2 and 3 of the Dimension canon from Big Finish, bridging the gap between Doomsday and her return in Season 4. While this may seem a little bit of a stretch, it seems that something shifted Piper's perspective over the course of 2021, and it comes at such a coincidentally close time to Davis's return that there could be a hidden connection. Catherine Tate. Of course, we could be looking at the wrong ex-Tennant companion, a BBC source who supposedly leaked the casting of Sacha Dhawan's Master in Season 12, as well as the upcoming return of the Sea Devils, has claimed online that Tate is in negotiations to return to Doctor Who, tying directly into Tennant's reported return. However, this wouldn't be Donna Noble, but an entirely different character. This is likely due to how Donna's story concluded and the narrative gymnastics necessary to bring her back into the fold. It wouldn't be the first time an actor has returned as a different character. Both Karen Gillan and Peter Capaldi returned after their appearances in The Fires of Pompeii, and Billie Piper herself came back as the bad wolf girl in The Day of the Doctor, embodying the conscience of the moment. In other words, there's certainly precedent for this idea, and similar rumours have swirled that Tate's co-star Tennant could be back as a new Doctor rather than the same one again. However, it's worth remembering that Tate was also rumoured to appear in Season 13 back in March 2021, which turned out to be untrue, so it's possible this may also be another dead end. Overall, predicting the next Doctor has been a notoriously difficult endeavour, so uncovering who the next companion could be is even more so. Just as Tania Miller has suggested, Davis is unlikely to go for the expected choice, and it may even be someone we're completely unfamiliar with. Still, at the very least, it feels like one of the strongest lists of companion contenders that's emerged in a while, showcasing some of the best and brightest working in the British industry at the moment. Clearly, no matter who is cast as the Doctor's next companion, they're surely to be absolutely sensational. Yeah, you would say that, wouldn't you? Yes, there you go. Who's going to be the new Who companion? Who. Don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Right, next up. We're nearly done. Mr. Robot Creator is working on a Metropolis TV show for Apple TV Plus. Sam Esmail will write and direct the series and also serve as showrunner. To move that a bit, don't I? There you go. Right, Mr. Robot Creator Sam Esmail is heading up a TV adaptation of Fritz Lang's Metropolis for Apple TV Plus as part of his overall deal with Universal Content Productions. According to Deadline, the streamer has handed a series order to the long-in-development project, with Esmail taking the helm as showrunner. He will be in charge of writing and directing every single episode of the small-screen adaptation, which he will also executive produce in tandem with his Esmail core production partner, Chad Hamilton. Plot details are being kept under wraps for now, though the 1927 film on which the series is based was widely lauded for its impressive visual design and effects, which helped to present the vision of a future society divided by class warfare, with the rich elite living in the towering skyscrapers of Metropolis and the lowly workers toiling below. The upcoming TV series has had quite a long gestation period, as the project first went into development with Esmail at UCP in late 2016. The Metropolis miniseries made headlines shortly thereafter, but then it fell silent for some time, up until last year when it was reported that Esmail had been busy working on the pilot script for the show. The original Metropolis movie was directed by Lang and written by Thea von Habu, I don't know, From her 1925 novel of the same name, the silent fiction film continues to make an impact and has inspired countless other sci-fi projects both on screen and off, prevailing as one of those rare features that truly does get better and more relevant with age. Well, that's it. So yeah, that should be interesting. I have to wait and see, but I don't subscribe to Apple TV Plus at the moment. But we'll have to see. I mean, we're not going to be able to afford, are we, all these streaming services when we're all being shafted for, bills. Bills are going up, aren't they? Gas and electric bills, food bills, it's all going up. It's all going up, so we're not going to be able to afford anything. We'll be cancelling everything, and Netflix will go out of business, and we'll be back living in dark ages. Right, last one. Creepy crawlies. Bat-eating spider discovered in North Shropshire is a first for the UK. Okay, brace yourselves. You ready? If you don't like spiders or bats, look away now. It has all the makings of a horror movie crossed with a David Attenborough documentary or a superhero blockbuster. Well, if it's a radioactive spider, yeah, or bat. A bat-eating spider in North Shropshire. And there's a photo of a bat caught in a spider's web. The poor trapped bat that was rescued by Ben. I think we'll find out who Ben is in a moment. But naturalist and wildlife artist Ben Wadhams, whose discovery is believed to be a first for the UK, says it is natural and part of the fascinating world of creepy crawlies. His discovery in a small Shropshire village is the first time a member of the false widow spider family has been recorded preying on a bat or any vertebrate in the UK. While it's quick to point out that the noble false widow spider is usually harmless to humans, their capture techniques allow them to prey on vertebrates and even the bats larger than themselves. And there it is. Oh, God, I'm going to be itching all night now. Spiders. But I don't kill them. I don't like spiders, but I don't kill them. If I see one in the house, I catch it and I put it outside. And it probably just comes straight back in. Anyway, his find was picked up by scientists from the National University of Ireland, Galway, who have now published the record of the attack on the protected pipistrelle bats. Aptly named the Web Slinger vs. Dark Knight, the university paper published in the international journal Ecosphere demonstrates that false widow spiders continue to impact native species. It's the first time a member of this family of spiders has been recorded preying on a bat anywhere in the world or any vertebrate in the UK. And there's some kid. Eva and Theo Wadhams with one of the bats at their home. Look at it. Ben had noticed that he had false widow spiders around his home in Loppington last summer, including a large female. He also knew that he had a maternity roost of pipistrelle bats under the eaves of his house. Drinking. Yeah, I get a bit hoarse. Winnie. Then, on 2 consecutive days in July, he found bats tangled in web below the entrance to the roost. The first, a young pup, which was dead, was completely immobilised with silk. It was slightly shrivelled and had a red mark, a bite from the spider. It's like Frodo, in Return of the King, when he gets got by Shelob. The second, much larger adult bat was entangled in the web, but still alive, and Ben was able to rescue it, releasing it from the spider's trap. And there it is. Ooh, they look nasty, don't they? Dr. Michelle Dugon of the Venom Lab at National University of Ireland, Galway. Dr. Michelle Dugon, head of the Venom Systems Lab at the Ryan Institute, National University of Ireland, Galway, said, "We have been working on the noble false widow for the past 5 years, and we are still surprised by its ability to adapt to new environments and make the most of the resources available. It is a truly remarkable species." Dr. John Dunbar, lead author of the study, said, "In more exotic parts of the world, scientists have been documenting such predation events by spiders on small vertebrates for many years, but we are only beginning to realise just how common these events occur. Now that this alien species has become well established in Ireland and the UK, we are witnessing such fascinating events on our very own doorstep." Yeah, and then they'll be giving us kids, won't they? And there's pets. Another one. Even other, much smaller species of false widows are known to capture and feed on snakes and lizards. Originated from Madeira and the Canary Islands, the noble false widow spider, Steatoda nobilis, has the potential to become one of the world's most invasive species of spider. The team of scientists are encouraging members of the public to email them at falsewidow@nuigalway.ie to report sightings of the noble false widow spider. And there we are. That's it. Oh, creepy crawlies. But we've got bats here in the eaves of our house, because sometimes at dusk you see them flitting about, and there was once one that something happened to it. I don't know if a cat had got hold of it, or if it had just something had happened, but it were on the path, the garden path, and it wasn't moving. So I thought I better get it. So I put it in a little box with some tissue paper and a little thing of water. I looked up what to do. A little a bottle, a lid off a bottle with water in. And I left it, put some holes in, to leave it. And anyway, I got up next morning and it had got out, and there were a bat flying around the kitchen. Anyway, I managed to catch it again. And I let it go outside and it flew off. So I went, bye little bat. So I've done my bit for bats. Bats are cool, but spiders aren't. But don't kill them, because they eat insects. And bats. Anyway, there you go. So that's that. Right, we're all done. Make myself bigger. Right. So, hope you enjoyed them stories, apart from the last one, which is making me itch all over. Oh, why did I pick that? I don't know, but I just found it interesting that spiders were catching bats. Ooh. Anyway, right. So, that's it. Anyway, so until tomorrow, hopefully I'll find some more news. I'm sure it'll be more about Star Trek and Star Wars. That's all they seem to be doing these days. I'm sorry I don't do more on like gaming or anime stuff, because I'm not a big fan of anime. I've said before, some of it I do like, but for the most part I'm not a fan of the animation style and the stories. I'm not a big fan of it. I'm not. I can't help it. It's just the way I am. Don't try saying, you've got to watch this and that to get into it. No, it don't work like that. I know what I like, and I don't like anime for the most part. Anyway, right. So thank you for watching, and wherever you are in the world, be nice to each other, and especially these days when the world's going to hell in a handcart again. So be nice to each other, and have a great rest of your day wherever you are. And until tomorrow, I'll see thee.